Hello, everyone. This is Tar for Glory, episode 258. We are like 5 minutes, 10 minutes removed off of one of WWE's big four, a pay per view with four matches. Four matches, two words. I ain't doing that shit. Oh my god. Um, let me start off with a positive. Let me start. Survivor Series holds very close to my heart and Smoove's heart, as it makes um as it makes 7 years since Talk for Glory has been a thing. So thank you guys that have been listening to Talk for Glory ever since then, since 2018. Um, yeah, I wish I could talk more. I wish I could talk happier about this, but I just really want to get into this. But guys, you guys already know there's wrestling. This is a podcast. This is Talk for Glory. I am your host, Enigma V4, here to bring you WWE Survivor Series 2025 review. And if you guys are wondering why I'm like out of breath or like I'm laughing, it's because I just finished watching this, and myself and Smoove were both laughing at just this laughable of a PLE or pay-per-view, whatever the hell you guys want to call this shit. Whatever you guys want, I don't care. Have fun with this. Let me talk about this. Let me talk about for the Women's World Championship match. It is defending champion Stephanie Vaquer versus WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. Guys, this match. How do I say this? This match. This match was something. Not in the good way. If anything, I would probably say that I could have probably skipped out on the majority of this stuff. But fuck. Just fuck. Did we really have nobody else for Stephanie? Really? We had Nikki Bella? I wouldn't have minded if, Nikki somehow persuaded Brie to get back in the ring and they challenged for tag titles. Stephanie could have been facing someone like Julia. Since, people from SmackDown are coming to Raw and people from Raw are coming to SmackDown. Like, we could have done something. This match was a match. I didn't care. I truly didn't. And, if I'm being flat out honest, this match, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, is the worst. I forget that when it comes to negativity, the Top for Glory servers will do that. But back to what I was saying, that this match is a giant piece of shit. This match was a match. I would not watch it. If you tell me 5 to 10 years from now, remember the time Stephanie Vaquer faced Nikki Bella, I'm going to say hell no, and don't you dare ever remind me of that match ever again. But, hey, congrats to Stephanie on being completely just, how do I say this? On just being completely better than Nikki Bella. This was a mismatch. That's what it was. This match was a mismatch. I know that a lot of people talk about, oh, what if AJ Lee can't handle today's women? We need to ask that question about a lot of the older generation's women's wrestlers. Like, if we right now, like, put in front of a line, if we put, like, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Alicia Fox, Eve Torres, and Kelly in today's women's wrestling, 4 out of 5 of them probably can't hang. And maybe only one of them can hang, but only an extra minute than above the Natural Divas match. But again, congratulations, Stephanie. Yeah, congrats, Stephanie. I hope you find better competition. Way better competition. Next is for the Intercontinental Championship. It is defending champion John Cena. Yes, he is Grand Slam. Yes, he is 17 times. Yes, he is never seen 17. And he is an absolute definitive Hall of Famer. I see it. I see it clearly. Versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Mysterio, Guerrero, it doesn't matter his last name. This man lies, cheats, and steals to get the win. And, I respect that. I respect that. A man that does anything to get the win. Anything for the dub. How do I start this off? It was okay. For John Cena's last pay-per-view match, it did its job. It put over a young talent, and Liv Morgan's back, so that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Realistically speaking, though, kind of would have been okay if Dom would have won in a way like Eddie Guerrero did. Like how I don't know, with John Cena doing a bunch of tributes, you could have literally just did like Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. You could have just done that. But, I get it. You can't have John Cena just like copy an entire moveset. But I wasn't a fan of everyone thinking that Dom was hurt, and then Roxanne and Raquel, they did their thing. Like, all right, cool. It's just that we kind of just speed ran that part in terms of okay, Dom's hurt, quote unquote. You could have literally had Cena do anything else other than just stand there. And in these, I'm not the biggest fan of these spots because it takes so long for the interference to kick in. I'm asking myself, okay, how long does it take to throw up the X? Because to me, I just saw that and went, okay, if Dom's actually hurt, you'd have thrown up the X by now. But since that hasn't happened, he's obviously faking the shit out of this. And Roxanne and Raquel are probably going to do something. But, when Roxanne and Raquel got ejected, it was fine. The match was fine. And then Liv Morgan came back. And I just thought, fuck. She is going to some way, somehow distract Cena, low blow him or something, and then Dom's going to win. For the people that enjoyed the whole Liv Morgan and Dom pairing, congrats to you. Me personally, I think Dom is an excellent talent. And Smoove said this. We were watching the show. He said that Dom will not be the face, but he will be one of the faces of WWE. And I think right now is no better time to show something like that. So, I'll ask you guys, do you guys think that Dom is a future of WWE? And if so, when and what will be his breakout moment to make him a main eventer? But Dominic Mysterio, the double champ cross promotion champion, once again, Intercontinental AAA champion. And thank you, John Cena. And just a heads up, guys, because myself and Smoove will be, also I see we have 3, 4, 5 viewers. Welcome to Talk for Glory, guys. Tell me what you guys thought of the show. Yeah, when it comes to John Cena, I just want to say first off, thank you, John Cena, for the memories, the childhood stuff. And in return, myself and Smoove will be talking about John Cena's top 10 matches sometime between either this week or next week. And that's going to be a tough video. Thank you, John Cena. Thanks for the memories. Now it's time to talk about some war games. So I don't even know what to call these. Like team babyfaces versus team heels. Like it's the team of AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky versus Becky Lynch, the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Last Legend. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that. Why did they get a War Games? I don't know. This year, I felt as though you could have done the 5v5. You could have done that, and I would not have been mad about it. This could have been one of that. Or you could have ran Kabuki Warriors versus Charlexa versus Rio versus Nia Jax and Last Legend in a 4-way for the tag titles. And in the hypothetical, you could have also ran Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the IC title. Because this only had 4 matches. I don't know. For me, and I want to talk about the match card. 4 matches, I could probably finish in an hour. If you remove commercials, this show is about maybe an hour and 20 minutes. But everyone had their highlights. Rhea Ripley had the best gear. She was also the most badass. Nia Jax is still like the default powerhouse. Kabuki Warriors looked fine in this. Io, as every year, is still the MVP. Charlotte and Alexa still remain being like the best tag team in all of WWE's tag team women's history. And I'm gonna say this as well. I did not know jack shit about Lash Legend. As you guys know here on Talk for Glory, it's not that we just don't talk about NXT. We don't watch that. We don't watch NXT. I don't know shit about Lash Legend. I know Lash and Jakara Jackson. Yeah, Jakara Jackson challenged the tag titles last year at Crown Jewel. I know that. But as for like Lash Legend's like work, like her resume, know nothing about it. And sad to say, I feel like I didn't learn anything either here. But AJ Lee made good on her word. She said, "I'm gonna make sure we win," and AJ Lee made sure we got the win. So Team Babyfaces did get the win. Io again still the MVP. Where does everyone go from this? I don't know. I genuinely do not know. What are we doing after this? What I would want is some repercussions for War Games winners and losers. War Games winners, they get to choose their spots in the Rumble, while the losers have to start as the first 5. Like, that would be cool. But yeah. So because I'm kind of speed running through this and I'm kind of just talking fast, we're about to hit the main event, guys. So thank you to everyone that'll be listening to this, as we are 20, 30 minutes removed off of Survivor Series. And I know some of you guys are probably either going to bed or you guys are either doing your own podcast. Yeah. I just want to say thank you guys that'll be listening to this in the future. And you guys already know when it comes to Top Glory, to make sure you guys follow the socials and join the Discord. It's going on the screen in 3, 2. So make sure you guys follow those socials. Screenshot it if you want. We're about to hit December, so we're kind of closing in on the final votes for Wrestler of the Year, and we're watching, we're listening. We're doing all these things. So when it comes to ending the year and who's, wrestler of the year, match of the year, comeback of the year, breakout of the year, things of that nature, don't just check it out on Talk for Glory. Also, check it out on BTBC, Bad Takes Better Conversation, as I will be a part of the committee to help Tommy and WrestleSpot and Rod Hardy all figure out who has had the best year, the best tag team, things of that nature over on their show. But here on Talk for Glory, make sure you guys follow those socials. And now we're about to hit the main event. It is the most randomly 2K book shit I've ever seen. War Games match. It is WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, World Champion CM Punk, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and arguably one of the greatest tag teams in WWE, the Usos, versus Brock Lesnar. Yes, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul and Braun and Bronson, the Vision. Yeah, again, this is some 2K book shit. Like, if I right now, got on 2K and just pressed X 10 times, this would be it. This did not feel like War Games. Not at all. And as you guys know, here on Talk for Glory, we watch a lot of wrestling. And I know a lot of people don't like to compare, or when you do try to compare, people try to bring up the numbers and attendance and all those things. But why is quality never in the topic? Why is it never talked about? This was not there. This was not better than Blood and Guts. This was not better than New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dog Pound match between Bullet Club War Dogs and House of Torture. This is probably not even better than TNA's Lethal Lockdowns of past. Dare I say, this might have been the worst War Games. The women's was actually better, but my God, you would think with stacked names like the Usos, with Cody, with Punk, with Roman, and on the other side of the two powerhouses with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre, you would think that this would mean something, but no. Guys, what the fuck was that? Before I went live, I broke out in laughter. I need you guys to understand this. Why the hell did our two world champions start? I would have had Jimmy or Jay start. I would have had the tag team guys start, then the world champions, then Roman last, or Roman saving his cousins, then our world champions. But that's just me. That's my order. Personally, I never got invested in this match. It felt like it was missing something, and it never got it. Actually, that's what this whole pay-per-view was, kind of. But, stuff happened. Brock left the cage. Let me talk about that real quick. For as long as I've been watching War Games, since 2018, 2019, when the announcers have announced the rules, then they've said, if you escape the cage, you lose the match. And it was never specified when you lose the cage, when you leave the cage. It was never, 3 participants, one of them leaves, you lose the match. At any time, it was never, when the door locks. That was never specified, ever. But some of you guys online are showing me that it was specified here. To be clear, if that's what this War Games is about, this, not previous, y'all can keep this. I will die on the hill of keep that same energy every match. Never change the rules for any exceptions. If you guys wanted a cool brawling spot, you should have had Brock and Roman start off, and then they get in the cage. But, that happened. Then, 1 or 2 things happened, and then a masked figure showed up and delivered a super kick and a curb stomp to CM Punk. Now, myself and Smoove, before I was going live, we were talking about like, oh, who could that be? I thought it was Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens has lost a lot of weight, and then we thought it was Seth, and then I thought it was Becky Lynch, and then I came live and here I am, and now I'm just like, huh, who was that? And right now, I don't know. I don't know who that was. Whoever that was, they definitely don't like Punk, but they do like the Vision, I guess. But that's also relevant. You know why? Because Braun Breaker has pinned the world champion. So, for maybe Royal Rumble, give me Braun Breaker versus CM Punk at the Royal Rumble. Or not, maybe give me Braun Breaker as the Royal Rumble winner. Now, guys, that was everything. Congratulations, the Vision on winning. The Vision and Brock and Drew and Logan Paul on winning. But I just want to say one more thing about this Survivor Series review. I think that War Games, WWE can keep the whole Survivor Series stuff, but I think that War Games should have gone to NXT this year, as they could have easily done NXT versus TNA War Games edition. I would have looked forward to matches like they did, like Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. And, you can do like Team TNA versus Team NXT in the War Games setup. Or you can even add the 5v5. You can do all those things. I personally think that story-wise, that NXT versus TNA was a lot more fitting for War Games than the main roster was this year. And another thing, do you guys think that NXT should have War Games 1 year and then the main roster gets it? Or are you guys just perfectly fine with the main roster having War Games forever? But that was everything, guys. That was the Survivor Series review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was laughable. I hope you guys are looking forward to whatever Talk for Glory's got to dish out in December. I hope you guys are basically just like keeping up wherever I'm at, because I have to be places. But more importantly, guys, I hope you guys stay safe, have a great day and or night. Don't take wrestling too seriously, because it's not that deep. And most importantly, never forget this lesson from Talk for Glory, guys. Enjoy wrestling.